Actually, what do you think about active aggression? During combat, stealing a Lord of the Illusions from your opponent.
Costs a
or
lot
Lord of
life.
Unreal, I should say.
I think I would rather just kill it with Dismember for 1 mana than steal it.
I think you can get a better blowout if it resolves.
You can, but it's still 6. It's 4 life and 3 mana versus
3 mana is a big deal trying to fight that war.
That's a lot of mana to be doing during combat. So, taking a look here. No sideboarding plans listed on in the most recent article. Let's take a look a little bit back.
And I think we see Chris VanMeter here mulliganing.
All right.
For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to the Star City Games Open here. This is Standard Day 1 live in live in St. Louis. I'm Adrian Sullivan, joined here by Brian Kibler. It is round 7 of 10. 10 grueling rounds of Swiss for our 557 competitors here today. We have a mirror match here. Basically blue-white illusions. Primarily blue-white for Morlandhawk activations, and a little bit of sideboard action in the form of Oblivion Ring and or Revoke Existence, depending on which player you're looking at. But the white is basically just for Morlandhawk.
Yeah, the Morlandhawk has proven since its introduction with Innistrad to be one of the real power players in Standard.
Oh, absolutely.
It gives creature decks a lot of ability to just continue to pressure the opponent even after all of their creatures have died. And while it's certainly at its most powerful in decks that have cards like Honor the Pure to boost the tokens, it is definitely a major player in the success of the Illusion deck.
Stensia Bloodhall is one of I think the only one of that cycle of cards that hasn't really seen real play.
Yep. I've had it in the sideboard of decks, but it's never quite made the main.
We've got to see a Ponder from Devin. He shuffles away a Delver of Secrets and a couple of other cards that are less exciting. And we go to Chris.
So
I kind of find myself wondering if Ponder is much like...
I think he was pondering for a land there.
How is this? Is he no lands?
He has no other land.
Oh, wow. Wow. Rough beats.
So,
and
pass the turn over to Chris.
Chris VanMeter.
Chris VanMeter leads 1 game to 0, and he plays... I think that's a Ludwig's test subject. No wait, it's a Delver Secret.
Delver has been making a huge splash in Legacy.
Did you happen to watch the interview with Eric Lauer that was posted by?
I would love to watch that.
Evan Irwin did an interview with Eric Lauer, and one of the things they talked about was Delver of Secrets, and apparently the original version of Delver of Secrets flipped on creatures.
Huh. That's funny.
And Eric was saying, he's like, yeah, I played. When I took over lead development for the set, I played my first game of Limited. My opponent played turn 1 Delver of Secrets, turn 2 flipped it, played another guy, turn 3 played another guy, turn 4 killed my guy, and I was like, well, that was pretty awful. And someone came to ask me, he's like, oh, so Eric, what'd you think about the set? He's like, I don't think that 3/2 flyer for 1 should be a common. And it remained a common, but the trigger condition changed to something that is a lot harder to hit in Limited, but not too hard to hit in Constructed.
We have a gut shot from Devin Koenke, or Kepke, or whatever is Devin, that kills the Delver.
Devin K.
Yeah, that kills the Delver. And Chris lays a Morlandhawk and says go.
But Devin is still having a bit of mana trouble. He has...
Oh, there he goes. He's out of it.
He has drawn out of that. Chris...
We have Morlandhawks on both sides, but Chris is the only one that has a token. This 1/1 could potentially do a lot of damage. And at the end of that turn there, we see a Snapcaster gut shot.
It's apparently gut shotting for blue mana or something, because he paid an extra additional mana.
Hey, look at that. Take it. You're dead. There's a very aggressive Devin gut shot. And 1 blue, he burns. Doesn't take damage from that anymore, though. Cast Fat Modi, burn for 1.
So back in the Ice Age Alliance's block constructed days, when you cast Jokelhops, did you pick up all your opponents with the card and put them into the graveyard? Because that's very aggressive.
I never did that. I think, though, actually, Devin is taking a page out of the Chandelar, play style. Is that the name?
And starting with the Mahamodian play?
He's casting the Modi here and then burning.
Okay, sure.
Chris VanMeter untapped, facing down a Snapcaster, and a fairly low life total from Devin.
It looks like Chris has a lot of land in his hand. If I'm evaluating this correctly, it looks like Are those
At least 2 lands.
It looks like Coast Coast.
Maybe 3 lands.
It looks like Coast Coast Gut Shot, and I think that might be another island. Looks like he may be very, very heavy on land.
I think do you just gut shot the Snapcaster?
Yeah.
There you go, 2 damage.
So, kill that. You killed mine, I'll kill yours. How about that?
And says go. We get a 4th land for Devin. Devin really loves getting that land at this point. I mean, he's got some good cards in his hand. I see a Snapcaster, a Mana Leak, a Phantasmal Image.
And Chris draws another land. So Devin may have been stalled on land early, but stalling on land and drawing out of it is much, much better than just having land in a matchup like this.
And I think Chris is going to say go. Devin, end of the turn, makes a 1/1 Spirit, removing the Snapcaster Mage. And Chris, while he's tapped down at this point, spends 2 mana. I think it's going to be a Snapcaster and then a Gut Shot on that Spirit.
Boom. Spirit
That is
down.
second blood for Chris VanMeter, knocking him down to 16. Another spell there for Devin. It looks like a Mana Leak. Oh, maybe he already had it and he just drew the Glacial Fortress. I might have that backwards.
I think he drew Glacial Fortress. He had Mana Leaks
Okay.
before, so Stronghold Mana Leaks.
Phantasmal Image in hand.
My guess is that he's going to Snapcaster that Ponder back.
Snapping a Ponder, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a super awesome Silvergill Adept.
Yeah. He's playing Legacy. I mean, jeez. So it looks like he's shuffling with that Ponder.
Still looking at the Ponder. Okay.
And shuffle, shuffle. At some point, the game state will advance.
And
Draws a
there
card.
we go. Let's see what happens. One thing that Devin and Chris have to be careful about is they have the exact same sleeves and the exact same deck.
Oh, they do, yeah. That's pretty funny.
I hope that they don't mix their stuff together. I have found pink sleeves to be very techy.
It's actually in the Worlds, Luis and Paulo were playing, and they were both using the exact same sleeves. And they shuffle up, and you present. It's like, which one's mine? Paulo's like, which one's mine? And Luis is like, doesn't matter. I'm playing the exact same 75 cards. And then Luis is just like, actually, this one's mine. He's like, because I would have been totally tilted if I drew, like a 10th edition Plains. Luis obviously playing with all betas.
Chris VanMeter draws a Phantasmal Bear and plays it. 6 mana up. Or 5 mana up, pardon me. 6 lands and play 5 mana up. Chris has an empty graveyard.
Yeah, I don't know much about this matchup, but I do know that flooding out on land is not how you win.
I mean, it's possible that the game will last long enough that he, will just draw all spells, because so many land already out. 15 to 16. Devin slightly down on life, also down on creatures, but he definitely has a ton of spells in his hand. We see a Vapor Snag that kills the
Terror.
Phantasmal Bear, but does turn on the Moorland Haunt from Chris VanMeter. And I think actually that means that they finally have not empty graveyards again, because they emptied them out with their Moorland Haunt and their Snapcaster. And now we have a Phantasmal Image coming into play.
So.
And he Vapor Snags the Phantasmal.
Vapor Snags a Snapcaster. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one bit. I mean, do you really want that 1 damage so badly?
Yeah, that just gives him so much value. I think I take the damage here. I think that my evaluation of what is likely in Devin's hand at this point. Granted, I know it's in his hand, but if you're sitting in Chris's seat and you see how Devin's been playing this game, you have to assume he has mana leak, because he spent the early turns of the game not really playing anything, and he was stalled on mana, so he certainly doesn't have mana in his hand. Oh,
And he goes and makes a spirit
right.
blocks and kills Snapcaster.
that is also a play I approve of. I certainly wouldn't cast my Snapcaster Mage and let it get mana leaked.
I mean, particularly, it's just so valuable to have that reusability.
Right. Yeah, I really disagree with that Vapor Snag.
I don't know what it accomplished.
It accomplished giving Chris another Snapcaster.
Yeah,
Mage.
I mean, for Devin.
Right.
I mean, 1 damage.
I mean, it potentially was 3 damage, but I mean, he had the Moorland Haunt in play. He has the Moorland Haunt.
But the Vapor Snag doesn't accomplish that. You know,
Right.
the second Vapor Snag.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess essentially what he did was like he decided have a Phyrexian Rager.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And I believe this is going to get Vapor Snagged and killed because is he taking the damage?
I think he is, because maybe something better will come along. Like, there's a bear. That's not better.
They're the same card. Like, one's a 2. I guess it's a 2/1 versus a 2/2.
Or his opponent could walk a Phantasmal Image into play. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Now, if he wants, he can go Snag, EOT, Snapcaster Snag.
Yeah. Though
Which
that
seems like a much more effective use of Snag, actually killing creatures rather than returning them.
and if Devin does have mana leak, he can only mana leak the second Snag.
And it doesn't actually matter because they're phantoms. So if
Right,
they
yeah,
just
that's true, yeah.
they're targeted, they're dead.
That is definitely. I mean, Devin just gave him the Snapcaster to do this. Yeah, I think that it's
Dead bear.
yeah. So he should just cast Snapcaster here.
There it is. Snappy. Thinking about it.
I mean, this is games of aggressive decks often come down to this kind of attrition.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why the
Mana leak just to stop the snag from happening again, which is just fine.
yeah, that's totally reasonable.
Chris draws. Is that another Snapcaster in hand?
It is. So now these Moorland Haunts are going to make it very difficult to actually kill anyone with Snapcaster Mages.
Tapped out. There's a guy.
And
Snapcaster snag. Dies for good. Take 1.
So take 3
Take
total.
2 more.
Putting Devin down to 12 life. It looks like Chris only has land in hand, though.
And Devin draws.
So Devin with an image on Snapcaster in play. Chris VanMeter with 2 Snapcaster Mages. Both players with 6 land, one of them Moorland Haunt. Chris VanMeter has no creatures in his graveyard, but Devin has 1. So Chris is definitely in the superior aggressive position, but Devin has a number of cards in hand, at least a couple of which are spells, whereas Chris, from the looks of it, has 2 land and has just drawn a Mental Misstep.
Here we have 2 Snapcasters coming on in.
So Devin likely just makes a guy and tries to trade.
I mean, heck, I would double trade if I were him.
Right, absolutely. So here they come. Block.
Block, block. Everybody dies. Devin has a creature in the yard.
And this gives a Stitch Drake.
Wow.
I thought that was a Mental Misstep. It's a little better than a Mental Misstep.
I like that much better.
Yeah, that is a much more powerful draw.
3, 4.
So Devin does have, it looks like Snapcaster and Phantasmal Images hand, so he's going to be able to get a Stitch Drake of his own. I don't believe that Devin has any way to actually kill a Stitch Drake. Chris has those Dismembers, which I'm guessing are in his deck.
Stitch Drake v. Stitch Drake.
Oh, he drew an actual Stitch Drake, so
And that means that Devin is empty on creatures in the yard.
And Image makes another Stitch Drake.
Land for Chris VanMeter in hand, and he draws. I can't tell what that is.
Gitaxian Probe, I think.
And Chris
Yep,
lays cast the probe.
Show me what you're working with.
I actually think that card is very powerful in this.
It is. I think that you can't afford to have all your probes, but I definitely think that you want to have some number of probes.
We have safely relocated you here. Your pairings for round number 2 are being posted.
All right, and Chris draws a Ludwig's test subject. I mean, Delver of Secrets.
Legacy challenge.
Be a lot better as a Ludwig's test subject right here. So that potentially gives, if Chris can flip a spell, both players a couple of 3-power flyers. Oh, well, he knew that mental misstep was there and he got rid of it. So Devin has, I believe, Snapcaster left in his hand.
I think you're correct.
Whereas Chris has the Stitch Drake. Chris also has a couple of creatures in his yard, so Devin can't really attack. If Devin attacks, he just ends up trading a Stitch Drake for a
1/1. Yeah. There are 3 creatures.
But
here he is.
For it.
3 creatures in VanMeter's yard here.
So make a guy, and both of them block the real Stitch Drake for sure.
I don't know
I don't know that Devin thought this through. So he's going to lose his Stitch Drake for a 1/1. Yep. And there it is. So
goodbye, Spirit. Take 3 for Chris VanMeter. And Chris untaps with Devin saying
we're back
no.
At something like parity, but Chris's is a real creature, so any gut shot kills Devin's Stitch Drake. Any Vapor Snag. I mean, I think Devin at least has to wait until he draws something like a gut shot there.
And Chris says go. End of the turn, Devin has the opportunity here to make that Stitch Drake into a spirit of his own.
I'm not sure I would. I think that it's possible that you need that resource. Oh, no, Chris did not say go. He may have been asking a question or something, and sends in his Stitch Drake. Is he just making a guy and blocking? Trying to figure out how this math plays out. So, if Devin just takes it, he goes to 9. He can make a token of his own, attack Chris to 6. Though, is that a creature in Chris's yard? Is that a Snapcaster below?
There's
the Gitaxian
one
Probe?
creature left.
And Chris has a couple of land in hand, looks like. Can't tell what the other card is.
Here comes the Spirit.
So makes a guy. Devin, I believe, down to 9 life. Chris at 10. That may have been a little aggressive on Chris's part.
In comes 4 damage.
I also disagree with Devin's choice to just play his land there. Chris knows his hand from Gitaxian Probe.
Yes.
This completely removes Devin's ability to bluff anything, and there's no reason to have additional land in play.
Chris goes to 6. End of the turn, makes a Spirit.
Makes a guy.
Can't quite make out what Chris got there. He's Kibblering right now. Or he was.
Alright, looking at a Moorland Haunt. I don't see any colored cards. No, maybe? Oh, no, that's a Mental Misstep, maybe? Or is that a Stitch Drake? I seem to... I messed them up last time. So Chris is at 6 life. Devin actually... I believe Devin has a Snapcaster in his hand.
Okay.
I believe that was the one card we knew. So, yeah, he can't attack because Snapcaster will just... When there's another Stitch Drake... So Devin in the tank. Yeah, that looks like Stitch Drake and a Snapcaster Mage in Devin's hand. So if that is Stitch Drake and not Mental Misstep, because I can't tell. Oh, he's doing this again. He's just sending in. I really don't understand what's happening.
I think,
What? I don't
know what he's accomplishing.
He's trading off 3 force for 1/1.
Yeah.
You dealt 1 damage. If Devin had just played that Stitch Drake and then at least waited a turn to attack, he deals 3 more damage.
I think he doesn't have any other creatures in his yard.
Okay.
So he's changing his fake one into a real one?
Yeah. I guess that's okay. I don't know. I mean, like, if he was worried about that, like, why did he make a spirit? I think that in a matchup like this, like we were saying earlier, these games can very much come down to just the narrowest of resources and throwing away, in particular, powerful resources like Stitch Drakes. They're one of the most important cards in this matchup. They're the biggest creature on the board. You can't afford to lose them to just sneak in some damage here and there, unless it's a lot of damage. Thus far, Devin has lost a pair of Stitch Drakes and done, killed 2 spirits and done like 2 damage.
Yep. I mean, Chris is, as a result of that, down to 5 life.
It's true, but he would be, Devin could have, several more Stitch Drakes.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
So, I mean, Devin has put Chris in a position where he's basically dead to Vapor Snag. Which is, I mean, to be fair, if Devin has a Vapor Snag and Chris does not have a Mental Misstep, Devin will just win the game. But I feel like this game should have already been over in Devin's favor.
I agree with you completely. And Ponder as a shuffle and a new card.
And
that's another Snapcaster?
He's attacking again. All right. And this time the attack certainly makes some sense because there's no Snapcaster for misstep. Yeah, it looks like Chris just has land. So that's going to resolve. Oh, no, there is a misstep. So Chris missteps back. So Snag will resolve.
Snag.
Snag resolves, and that will that will kill Devin's spirit and strand that Stitch Drake in Devin's hand.
Devin looks like he has a Phantasmal Bear in hand.
I believe, no, he has the another Snapcaster and the Stitch Drake that just got bounced. So that also puts Devin at 8 life. Yeah, he's going to Snapcast Ponder.
Yeah, I think Devin absolutely should have won this game based on the various trades that he's given away.
So we see
Mana Leak,
Mana Leak misstep. No,
and
can't
something.
Keep that. So Devin is still in an advantage position here. Chris has 3 lands in hand, no fuel for Moorland Haunt, and just a Stitch Drake.
Now, to be fair, we've been talking about how mana flooded Chris has been. Devin has drawn 8 land, and so far Chris has drawn 9.
Yep.
It's just that he has been able to use Snapcasters for Ponders.
Right. Snapcaster has given Devin a lot of value, and Chris has drawn a couple Snapcasters, but hasn't got. Ooh, that's a
Delver, I think.
No, I think that was an image.
That is an image. Wow.
So if he images a Snapcaster here, that doesn't do anything. He can attack and then just image his Drake. Yeah, if he attacks, images Drake. If Devin doesn't have anything, he's just dead. because he just dies to the pair of drakes attacking next turn. Even if he has something that can kill the image,
He still has the Moreland Hunt then.
he still has Moreland
yeah.
Hunt, right? So,
And he says,
Two
I want the
drakes.
Drake. You're at 5, Devin.
yep. So now Devin needs something immediately. And he draws.
Chris's hand is empty. Just land.
Oh, I think that's another Stitch Drake, but he has that Stitch Drake. Oh, gut shot.
On the Stitch Drake, going for the kill.
Well,
He's got a Moreland Hunt to protect himself.
and he doesn't have the kill. So, and gut shot will put him at 3 life. So he can't actually do it because he'll die to the Stitch Drake. If he gut shots the image, then Devin puts himself to 3. He doesn't. He has Moreland Hunt, but he can't actually save himself. He can kill one of his own guys. Wait, he's tapping mana?
No, it came into play tapped.
Oh, he played a land too. Yeah, he's sort of in the tank trying to figure out if there's any way he can live.
And now Chris knows that he's won.
Yeah, the answer is just no.
I mean, what could happen is Chris VanMeter could get up and punch the judge right now, and then that would mean Devin would win.
Bertrand Lestray.
Yes.
Could, channel the spirit of. So he's attacking. Okay. So here, well, now Chris knows he has gut shot. So now, okay, so Chris has to block, and that gut shot, he'll be able to play he'll play a Stitch Drake. So this game isn't quite over.
Right.
We may have jumped a little ahead of ourselves. So yep, blocks 1. That will allow Devin to play his Stitch Drake.
Chris goes down to 3.
Kind of funny that Devin just revealed it. He's just like, oh. So now Chris knows exactly how he has to play.
And Stitch Drake should come down
So
here.
he plays Stitch Drake.
You got it? You got it? No, you don't.
All right. So now
Land for Chris.
So yeah, Chris. All right. We still have a game. And he draws. I think it's a Ponder. No, it's a Stitch Drake.
A Stitch Drake, which I don't think it does anything.
He cannot currently play it.
All it will take, though, is a death of his own Stitch Drake to be able to... This has actually been a really interesting game.
There's been a lot of back and forth here.
As you can see, no one has been poisoned this game.
It's true. Which is unfortunate. More people should be poisoned in any given game.
Yep, I agree. So right now, knowing that a gut shot is in Devin's hand, he's in a position where he knows that he cannot cast anything for Phyrexian mana for the rest of the game, which does kill a lot of cards. No creatures in either player's yard, so their Moreland Haunts at this point have no fuel. Devin has a gut shot and does not know that Chris VanMeter has 3 lands and a Stitched Drake.
Attention active players, that is time of round. Active players.
Ooh.
Here they come.
Then proceed.
Attackers.
This will be able to
Interesting.
feed the other Drake.
Will it? Oh, he kills it. He doesn't go to choose not to. That's, it's kind of interesting.
And now there's a trade.
So that's actually kind of, if Devin just blocks there, I think he wins, right? If Devin does not gut shot the creature, just blocks, takes damage, he wins.
I think you're correct, because there'd be no food for the
right,
Stitch
there'd
Drake
be
in
nothing.
hand.
So instead, he loses. Wow.
Wow. And Chris reveals the hand.
Well, no, Devin was at 5 life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he lost 2 for. Wow, that was a pretty sick play on Chris VanMeter's part, because he's just dead if Devin doesn't kill his guy. But he puts Devin in a spot where he's just like, well,
if you have anything, I'm in trouble.
Well, he knows Devin's hand too.
Yes.
Wow,
that was some good magic, actually,
That
from
was
Chris.
pretty masterful on Chris VanMeter's part. So Chris VanMeter wins this match, 2-0, in a match that I think, yeah, wow, he really had to dig deep to win there.
Yeah, I think that also he was in the position where he didn't say, Devin, I forgot. He's like, Here it is, Devin. You're like, I had nothing.